It happens silently. It happens without pain, without a fever, and without a single warning sign from your doctor. But the moment you cross the age of 75, a terrifying switch flips inside your body. It is what I call the silent pandemic of aging, and it is something most women never see coming until it is nearly too late. You might have lived your life looking after everyone else, raising children, caring for a home, perhaps even caring for your own parents, but there is a biological deadline approaching that threatens to strip away your independence. Aging experts now admit that every woman on Earth undergoes 5 specific, irreversible biological shifts the moment she hits 75. It does not matter if you have eaten organic food your whole life, practiced yoga, or have the energy of someone 20 years younger. These switches are buried deep in your biology, and they trigger a sequence that can turn a healthy, independent woman into someone who relies on others for basic care. The most frightening part is that your body does not send you a memo. These changes happen behind the curtain. Families do not notice the early signs because they are almost invisible, and you might just brush them off as getting older. But ignoring them is dangerous. In fact, the second change we will discuss begins damaging the brain 3 to 4 years before you feel even the slightest symptom. We are going to walk through all 5 of these critical shifts together, because understanding them is the only way to protect your dignity and your future. And please listen closely to number 1, because it controls whether you remain the strong, capable woman you are today. Before we begin, I'd love to know, how old are you, and where are you joining us from? I read your comments, and it warms my heart to see our community growing. Let's look at change number 5, because this is something most women misinterpret until the damage is done. At 75, your sleep architecture completely collapses and rebuilds itself. This is not just about waking up early to make coffee, it is a fundamental neurological restructuring. Sleep experts have found that after 75, your brain reduces deep sleep production by up to 70%. That deep, restorative slumber, the kind that repairs your tissues, strengthens your immune system, and helps you remember the names of your grandchildren, becomes a rare luxury. Your body simply stops producing melatonin like it used to, dropping by about 15% every single year after 75. This is why you might find yourself staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m., mind racing about the house or the family, even when your body is exhausted. What is truly fascinating is that your circadian rhythm, the internal clock that has guided you your whole life, shifts forward by 2 to 3 hours. Suddenly, having dinner at 4 p.m. makes perfect sense, and you are ready for bed while the rest of the world is still watching television. This happens because the suprachiasmatic nucleus, your brain's master clock, changes how it processes light and hormones. Your sleep also becomes incredibly fragmented, with the average 75-year-old woman waking up between 15 and 20 times a night, even if you do not remember it. Instead of fighting this and lying in bed frustrated, sleep experts suggest you embrace it. Go to bed when you are tired, even if it is 7 p.m., and use those quiet early morning hours for yourself. To manage this, you must create a sleep sanctuary. Keep your room cool, ideally between 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit or 15 to 19 degrees Celsius, because your body struggles to regulate heat at this age. Light is your new medicine. Get bright sunlight within 30 minutes of waking up to anchor your rhythm, and turn off those screens after 6 p.m. You might even try a split sleep pattern, sleeping for 4 hours, waking up to read or stretch gently, and then sleeping again. This was common centuries ago and fits your new biology perfectly. Do not force yourself into the mold of an 8-hour sleep if it does not fit anymore. That stress only leads to chronic insomnia. While you are adjusting to your nights, something even more dramatic is happening to your internal thermostat. This is change number 4. Your body's temperature regulation breaks down permanently. At 75, the hypothalamus, the part of your brain that acts as your internal dial, loses about 20% of its sensitive neurons. You literally cannot detect temperature changes accurately anymore. This is why you might feel chilled to the bone while your family is complaining about the heat. Your sweat glands decrease in efficiency by 40%, which is terrifying because it means you cannot cool down quickly if you get overheated while gardening or walking. This is why heat stroke hospitalizations skyrocket by 300% after age 75. Furthermore, the protective layer of fat under your skin thins by about 30%, leaving you with less insulation against the cold. Your metabolic rate drops by 20%, meaning you are not generating enough internal heat. The scariest part is that you lose your survival signals. You often won't feel thirsty even when dehydrated, and you won't shiver effectively when cold. To protect yourself, keep your home between 68 and 74 degrees Fahrenheit, which is roughly 20 to 23 degrees Celsius. Layering your clothing becomes essential. Think cardigans and shawls that you can easily add or remove. You must drink water by the clock, not by thirst, aiming for at least 48 ounces a day. And please, be careful with exercise. Indoor activity is best when it is below 40 degrees Fahrenheit, 4 degrees Celsius, or above 75 degrees Fahrenheit, 24 degrees Celsius. Your margin for error is razor thin now. As challenging as temperature is, change number 3 hits you in the very center of your daily life. Your digestive system enters a permanent slowdown. The day you turn 75, your system shifts into what doctors call presbyosophagus. Your esophagus loses up to 50% of its muscle coordination. Swallowing becomes a conscious effort, and that sensation of food getting stuck is not your imagination, it is your muscles forgetting their sequence. Saliva production drops by 40%, making digestion harder from the first bite. Your stomach produces 30% less acid, which you need to absorb vital nutrients like calcium and vitamin B12, nutrients essential for your bones and energy. The crisis deepens in your intestines, where nutrient absorption shrinks by 25%, creating a situation where you might eat well but still be malnourished. Your pancreas reduces enzyme output by 40%, explaining why a meal you used to love suddenly leaves you feeling bloated and heavy. And let's be honest about the colon. Transit time slows down dramatically, sometimes taking over 100 hours, leading to chronic constipation for 60% of women your age. To help your body, stop eating 3 large meals. Switch to small meals every 3 to 4 hours. Chew your food 30 times per bite to help your stomach. Consider taking digestive enzymes and eating fermented foods like yogurt or sauerkraut daily. And be careful with fiber, increase it slowly with soft foods like oatmeal rather than raw vegetables that are hard to digest. Now, we must address change number 2, which threatens your safety more than anything else. Your balance system undergoes irreversible deterioration. At 75, 3 separate systems fail simultaneously, creating a triple threat to your stability. Your inner ear loses 40% of its sensory cells, sending confused signals to your brain. Your proprioception, knowing where your feet are without looking, drops by 50%. This is why you might miss a step you have walked 1,000 times. Your vision's depth perception weakens by 40%, making it hard to see obstacles in low light. The processing speed in your brain slows by 70%, meaning even if you feel a slip, you cannot react fast enough to catch yourself. The fear of falling itself increases your risk by 30% because anxiety makes you stiff. Your blood pressure might drop when you stand up, causing dizziness. To fight this, you must treat balance training like medication. Tai Chi is incredible for this, reducing fall risk by 45%. You need to fall-proof your home, remove those throw rugs, install grab bars in the bathroom and hallways, and improve your lighting. And ladies, footwear is now medical equipment. You need firm, non-slip soles and low heels, no more loose slippers. Schedule your active tasks for late morning when your balance is at its peak. Finally, we reach the most critical change, the one that determines your independence. Number 1. Your muscle mass enters catastrophic decline. At 75, your body triggers sarcopenia overdrive. You lose muscle at a rate of 3% to 5% per year. This is not about vanity, this is about having the strength to get out of a chair, carry your groceries, or lift your grandchild. Your body starts using its own muscle for fuel due to anabolic resistance, meaning your muscles stop responding to food and exercise normally. The stem cells that repair muscle decrease by 70%. The fast-twitch fibers, the ones that help you catch yourself if you trip, disappear twice as fast. This is a hormonal catastrophe. Growth hormone production falls by 80% and inflammation markers rise by 300%, putting your body in a state where it breaks down muscle faster than it builds it. Your mitochondria, the energy powerhouses, lose efficiency, explaining that sudden, crushing fatigue. Here is the terrifying truth: just 10 days of bed rest after 75 can cause the same muscle loss as 2 years of aging. To fight this, you must eat like an athlete. You need 25 to 30 grams of protein at every meal. Focus on leucine, found in eggs, dairy, and chicken. Vitamin D is crucial, as deficiency causes weakness. Exercise in the morning when your hormones are more favorable, and give yourself 72 hours of recovery between heavy sessions. These changes are not possibilities, they are biological certainties. But knowing them gives you power. You can adapt, you can prepare, and you can protect your independence. If this has opened your eyes, please subscribe so you do not miss our next discussion on the specific exercises to slow these changes. Thank you for watching, and remember, aging is mandatory, but suffering through it is not.